Alright, today let's talk about compression shorts. Like for example these ones that I'm wearing from XOSKIN. This is a new model, just came out. I like them because they're really light and they compress everywhere. And the fabric is really comfortable. I would compare with other compression pants to see the pros and cons. But let me talk about compression in general. Why wearing compression? Is it for performance, to increase your performance? I don't know, I don't think so. You know, just the fact of carrying extra weight, in my mind, is a reason for not actually wearing compression shorts, although the weight is obviously very limited. We'll talk about that too. But the reason is, in my mind, because they keep my muscles together. So, especially right now, I'm very close to Western States. My problem is obviously when I start going 70, 80, 90 miles, my muscles get affected. And they tend to hurt and I tend to get injured. So what do? Especially in runs like this, the problem is all the downhills, the uphills, you tend to push yourself and then you tend to get hurt. Compression shorts actually help me keep my muscles together, especially my hamstrings benefit a lot just from the compression. So for me, it's very important. The compression actually compresses more the hamstrings, which is an issue. Usually, you know, they tend to focus on areas like the quads, and obviously that may help also if you have issues with the quads. I tend to have a lot of issues with hamstrings, so that's where I think that they benefit a lot. Talking about different types, the concept of this XOSKIN, like others, is about having compression by stretching. So the more you stretch, the more they compress, more in some areas than others. And the difference with others is that, again, they compress everywhere. Let me compress my legs. It feels good. And why does it feel good? Because your muscle, as it expands, meets the resistance of the compression fabric that then returns that energy. I'm sure there is some waste in there, but the important thing is on long distance is more to save your muscles rather than expressing the most power at every point in time. I definitely recommend them. I definitely recommend this XOSKIN. The other thing that I like is the length. The right length has to be right above my knee. I don't like the pants that stop here. The reason is because my muscle tends to be compressed. That actually causes an issue with my hamstrings, because some of my hamstrings are compressed, especially in this area where pants tend to end if they're too short. You can hear me? Hello! Hello! Day 2 of testing compression shorts. These are my favorite. At least they were my favorite until yesterday. CWX. Why do I like them? First of all, they're not too thick. So today is a great day, as you can see. The important thing about compression is not that just compress, but they compress in the right areas. My problem is the hamstring. As you can see here, there is this stripe here that is right here, pressing on like a cross on my hamstring. So this really works well for my hamstring because that's where we get hurt most often, right?
Right.
Hi guys.
I agree.
So again, a great color too. By the way, I fell in this a few times, you can see here, so they're kind of resistant. It's 4 years. 4 years that I've been wearing this, not every day obviously. Highly recommend this. I think that the length is perfect. The compression is where it needs to be.
Cheers.
She's like,
Nice.
Alright, and now let's go for the scale test. I mean, how much weight do you want to carry? Let's start with the top model of CWX. As you can see here, this is the model that has on the hamstring just the cross very well defined. They weigh 226 grams. So let's go down to the model that I really like. The weight is 189 grams. And finally, let's go for something completely different, which is the XOSKIN. Here, the stretch is driven by the elasticity of the tissue. And let's see if that impacts the weight. And it does, 125 grams, very essential, yet effective where it counts. So probably, if I had to pick one, I would pick the XOSKIN compared to CXW. I've been using the CXW for a long time, while XOSKIN is something relatively new for me. Let's also talk about the incidental advantages of compression. Today I took a kind of a bad fall. I mean, it looked bad, but nothing happened. And so I landed on my paddle and I started sliding on my XOSKIN. So here, you know, you can see this kind of dirty. And the reason is, and also here, because I went sliding on the dirt. And I have to say, this XOSKIN actually didn't get damaged at all. If I had another pants, it would have been different, but this protected my skin and at the same time it didn't break. So, excellent job, XOSKIN.